Welcome to Lee Domingue's podcast, where he shares stories and teaches principles behind why and how your legacy starts today.
Well, hey everyone, and welcome to the Legacy Starts Today podcast, where we're passionate about living with purpose and starting our legacy today. I'm Lee Domingue, and I have the honor and privilege of having my amazing wife, Laura, here joining me today. We hope everyone is off to an amazing new year. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
Yeah, 2024 is going to be the best year yet.
Yes.
In Jesus' name.
Yes, let it be.
Agree?
Agree.
In the last episode, we talked about one of our favorite family traditions. Really, we call it the family meeting. And we sat down with some of our great friends from Seacoast Church in Charleston, South Carolina, Pastors Jason and Jenna Surratt, really to hear about their experience. They have a fantastic family, and they're one intentional couple. Make sure to listen to it on your favorite podcasting platform or watch it on YouTube if you've missed the episode. It was really fantastic. They gave some really helpful and insightful feedback. You know, I think about with our family meeting, and really it was something that we started, I don't know, it was probably, 7 years ago. And it's just been a staple now for our family to really set the tone each and every year to just reaffirm who we are as a family, what we value, and what we've learned. I remember one of the things that both Jason and Jenna said, they started incorporating their family meeting. We do ours annually, once a year. They started incorporating theirs all throughout. Like, they just didn't have one meeting a year. They had multiple meetings, and they even highlighted like milestones where it could be around a birthday, but they had these intentional quarterly or monthly little touch points that I thought was a fantastic idea.
Yes, I love that. I love that. Great traditions to start with your family.
Yeah, so good. Well, today we're going to talk about something I think really is a little bit different because we decided, unlike in the past, almost was now 7 years, where we met at the beginning of each year, we scheduled our family meeting this year in the amazing month of May. And why May is so important, and this May is really, really, really important. So this May is going to be my 60th birthday.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. So 60th birthday, I'm going to be 60, and 60 don't play. So this is going to be really special, and because it's my 60th birthday, I can make the rules the whole entire year.
Wow.
So we're going to have our family meeting during that time. And it's going to be an amazing time as we get together for that week. One thing, though, we thought that would be great, we would do kind of a look back and a look forward. And we want to just share all the things that we've learned over all these years, practicing the family meeting and what we're learning as our family grows. You know, we're getting older. We're aging gracefully.
So graceful.
and it's actually expanding, we've got 4 daughter-in-laws and 7 grandkids now. And so it evolves and it changes. And, we've got some great news too, though. We've taken many of the lessons we learned along from other families, like the Littles, Jeff and Brandy Little, and the Surratts, and, who've implemented the family meeting and really helped us enhance the family meeting guide. We'll talk about the newest edition later, and we can't wait for that. It's going to be amazing, but we're very excited. I think if your family is the priority, I say it's the greatest mission field, and if we lose our family, we honestly lose everything. Right. And so people, I think, all have a passion. Really, they want to help their family. They just need a model. They need a model, and as our pastor, Chris Hodges, says, you got to have models and you have to have mentors. Right. And this guide has really created, a pathway for all of you to go, and it's really through our journey. Our journey's never about perfection, but it is about intentionality. Right. And, I got a question for you, honey.
Okay.
Why does the family meeting... And she doesn't know I'm going to ask this. So why does the family meeting mean so much to you?
I think that the family meeting it means so much. At first, when we started it, our daughter, we were in the boardroom. As we've said, we were in a boardroom. We didn't really know what we were doing.
The resort.
Yeah, we were in a boardroom. We did the meeting, and, it meant so much to see my daughter, who was young at the time, whether she was 12 or so, and all the other kids, they at their age took it seriously. They answered the questions well. And as we've grown, like you were saying, as we've grown and we've added the daughter in loves, and we have 4, it has been priceless to be able to have our sweet daughter in loves and come alongside, and they get to hear all of us with the affirmations exercise, and our sons have said that it means so much to them to hear us affirm the people that they love the most and their wives, and so it has been really incredible to see the evolution of what's happened, and as we've gotten now four additional daughter-in-laws in there, and as the kids have grown, and seeing them mature and loving wherever they are at whatever stage they're at.
We don't have a son-in-love yet. That's going to be yet to be determined. I don't even know if we're going to ever call him that, just for the record. But
oh my God!
We'll see. We'll see about that. We'll move on. But it has been something that's really everyone has a voice.
Right.
Everybody has a voice. It's not parents dictating really what's going on, and that really helps. That was a surprise for me too.
Yeah.
It's just like, wow, I thought, I was just always the one giving direction, or you were giving direction, but it was through collaboration.
Right.
Of saying, no, you have an equal voice in this. Let's build this thing together.
Right.
And they really have taken ownership,
Yeah.
which has been amazing.
That's great. Yes.
You have a question for me?
Yeah. Well, yes. Well, you sort of answered it. But anyway, I do have a question for you. What is the thing that surprised you the most about the family meeting?
I would say a couple things. One is, I would say, how awkward the first one was. I came in very prepared, and then when we started getting into it, you could feel a little bit of the awkwardness and tension in the room. And I think it was something that providential that happened. And I'm not saying God spoke to me, but there was this impression is, why don't you just be vulnerable and transparent?
Right.
And so we kind of went there. And we started being vulnerable and transparent with them, and they were kind of, even to a little bit of a shock, they were like, they started opening up. And there was something that happened in that moment.
Right.
One of our family values is transparency, and it's the seedbed that lays the foundation of trust. And but I would say that was something that surprised me. And then also was the power of the affirmations exercise. Yes. We have 4 very strong mind, like boys. They are men's men. Our daughter, she's a strong leader. Our daughter-in-law's strong leaders. Everybody's got an opinion. Right. But when you vocally start affirming what everybody knows you feel about them in the room and all of that, we had a few surprises in that. But what happened is when you're looking at an individual and you start sharing how important and what you admire about them, and you affirm them, there was just a sweet moment.
That's right.
Those boys, and even all of us, like even now in doing it, we'll do our 7th year. When we even start, we'll start crying.
Right.
Because it's such a tender moment, and you can see it when your turn's coming, that you're going to be the one affirming somebody. It's just like, I just can't. I don't know if I could do this.
Right.
And we've been doing it multiple years, but there's this depth to it.
Right.
And I think God really touches it.
Right. And I think that whenever, we're, one of the things that was, surprising to me also was that I felt like we were a close family, and I felt like we have already shared so many things with each other. But whenever we sat down that moment and intentionally had this moment to share some things, it brought a whole new level of closeness. Because
Isn't it fresh each year? Even though we're doing the same affirmations exercise, how many affirmations can you actually have? But what's happened is some have been reaffirmed in the same things, but it's fresh every single year.
Right.
And it just creates this level of intimacy in the family that honestly we didn't have.
Right. And as every year there's new things that happen, and new things you can see in the others. You can see, oh, you're a great dad now that you become a dad, and so life happens, and so there's naturally just these new things that you can admire and that you can call out
That's
in
so
each
good.
other.
So good. Well, let's talk about a few of the lessons that we've actually learned, and if you're taking notes, this would be a great time, for that. But we've made tons of mistakes. We've learned from them. I love John Maxwell's. He actually wrote a country song that is being released, and it's called it's Sometimes You Win, Sometimes You
Learn.
Sometimes You Learn. I love that. It's
Yeah.
amazing. So we've learned a lot, and we're about continuous improvement in our family. So no matter where you're at, never get discouraged. Take the steps. Start going on the journey, and it's going to be that journey and evolution of learning, making things that just hit, that are on point, other things you make mistakes, and we just evolve and we just keep going, and it really
right.
creates this, as I would say, as a Cajun, a beautiful gumbo.
That's right.
That God's created in our family. But
Right.
what would be one of the lessons you think one of the first lessons that you would say?
I think that when we were in the boardroom, like we were saying, it was a little awkward. It was awkward sharing, and then once you really started off by being really intentional and sharing your heart, it really broke the ice a lot. But also, now we look back and laugh. We were in that boardroom. It was kind of a more serious environment where we take a break, and our kids are all up and they're doing these yoga poses. We're like, everyone get up and stretch, and they were getting up and being funny and doing these poses and things, and so even though it was an awkward moment, but I also learned that no matter what, we still have these fun memories to look back and laugh at and be like, remember we're in that boardroom, and everyone had their pad, and everybody jumped up and started being silly.
We all had folders like it was the Fortune 100 company board meeting.
Right.
So I kind of overdid it in that. And when your daughter's nose is right at the top of the table, and she's looking over and like she's got a seat in the boardroom.
Right.
But we have pictures of those yoga poses and
Right.
them clowning, and
Right.
it was a great moment. So really, that lesson is you got to create a fun environment.
Right.
Create a fun environment. It doesn't have to be extravagant. Go to a place, try and get outside of your home if you can, and go create a moment that's quiet and uninterrupted, but have a lot of fun and do it. Incorporate laughter whenever you can. You're a big laughter person. You are. You laugh. You laugh at and have such a joyful spirit. And so I have to glean that from you from time to time. So another lesson, though, that we've learned is make sure the meeting is collaborative. We touched on that. Your kids and your family, no matter what their ages are, they're going to see you in a place of, like, they've used to you their whole life being dictated to by your parents. Right. Don't do that. Collaboratively come together, and even if you know the answer, you can help moderate. So we moderate and kind of direct some of the conversation, but we give them a moment at any given time to express really what their thoughts are.
Right, and when you give them that moment, they really just express their thoughts. They really are bought in because they have a seat. They actually have a seat at the table. We want to hear what they're saying, and then they're really just bought in at that moment. Once they can share.
So it's so good, and it's something you have to be super intentional in, because your natural nature is going to be to try to own that conversation and direct it more than allow collaboration in it, because everyone's voice matters. So you have to have kind of house rules that you set early on to say, hey, this is everyone's voice matters. What's said here needs to stay here,
right?
So that there's an element of trust, as well.
We also would always say, whatever we say here can't be used against you later. So
that's so true.
That's what we would always say. Yeah, it's going to stay here, but also this is not a tool to bring something up. Remember what you said at this.
Yeah, and use it against you as a tool
later
to beat you up.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
so
good. All right, another lesson is don't worry about awkwardness. We shared with you our first one. It was awkward, and really we just honestly, if I had to give you any counsel on how to address that, is just be you. Be you. Don't try to be something. Don't try to come across as now that you're you're a psychiatric, analysis of the whole dynamic, and you want to bring this heavy, structured time. Let it be free flow.
Right.
Let it reflect the heartbeat and the DNA of your family, but keep it moving along.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the greatest thing you can do to not make it awkward is simply be you.
Right.
And be open, be honest, set an environment that is safe, and that this is what we want for our family, not from our family.
Right. I think it's also important to think about the fact that you're getting your children to collaborate. They're sharing their heart. This is not a time to correct them or to say, oh, that's really not biblically based view you need to have if they're saying how they feel. This is not a time. This is all, sharing your heart, collaborating. This is not like you said, we can't use it against you, and also not a time to correct. So that kind of leaves it more relaxed also.
Yeah.
They know they aren't getting in trouble during this.
Right. And you want to,
Yeah.
you want to get, which is really a great lesson, is give your kids roles. Give them roles, and you can create buy-in by maybe one of your children is very good at taking notes. Well, I remember for years, I don't know if she's done it every year. I know Grayson's done it, our son, but also London. Our daughter-in-law married to Winston. She would take minutes and take of what people were saying and all the different affirmations, color-code it so we would know each who said what.
Right.
And so you can go back and review those things. And so give people tasks in their area. Harrison's great at cooking, so he may fry some chicken, or we boil some shrimp, or cook steaks, or whatever it is.
Right.
And there may be other people that really great at hospitality. There may be an activity you incorporate in that somebody can help take care of. Just make sure that you empower your kids with roles. Give you an example. We said we would provide the food, but y'all had to cook it. So each couple had to cook one night for everyone, or one of the meals. Well, the younger kids who were in elementary school or middle school and high school, we probably didn't want them cooking, to be honest with you.
Probably not.
So it was kind of self-serving, but we said, you guys are going to do the kitchen. Y'all are going to do the cleanup. So everyone had a role.
Right.
It not only creates buy-in, but there's this, that everyone's contributing.
Right.
And I think when you do that, I think it creates further buy-in.
Right. I agree.
What's another lesson, honey?
Let's see. I think it's prioritizing the affirmations exercise. We've already talked about the affirmations exercise a little bit, but this was so powerful. It created a unity in our family that we thought we were, 10 out of 10 on that, and it really brought us to a different level. And, one of the things that you need to prioritize, and one of the things that we've also learned is that our family, as it's gotten larger, it's gotten really big. And so if everyone is doing 3 affirmations for each person, that ends up taking, 10 hours. So, you just need to
It took us, when we did it the first time, we did 3 affirmations per person. What was it, like 4 hours?
Yes.
It was 4 hours. That was a little long.
Yeah, because it just takes a while for each person, and you don't want to rush it. And so, but that's one of the things you can learn is that, based it on the size of your family. If you have a really large family, just do 1. But, don't miss it, because it is one of the things that has just created such unity in our family. And also our kids, our daughter-in-laws, like we were saying, our sons have said it is so powerful to see us, our parents and the other siblings, affirming their spouse, and how powerful that is. But you just might want to tailor it based on your size. Be one
That's
thing
so
I
good.
would say.
I personally think it's the most powerful thing of the whole family meeting. I think it's the affirmation exercise. I just think God touches it. And if you can get to that place in your family to actually go through it, the fruit it's going to. We even had in one of our family meetings, I think it was last year, I'm not going to name names, but one of our kids looked at the other kid and said, hey, I want to apologize to you and ask for your forgiveness, because I really didn't celebrate you when you were succeeding at things like I should have. And it was an incredible moment between 2 siblings that not only brought, you talk about affirmation. Wow. I mean, it was a powerful moment. and God brought healing in that moment. We
Right.
didn't know any of it.
Right.
But you'll allow the Spirit of God will move in these family meetings. And I don't want to over spiritualize it, but it's important. And so this affirmations exercise is one of the keys
Right.
that unlocks the door of real intimacy in the family meeting.
That's right.
You know. So what are we looking forward to in 2024? We're so excited about, our family, has grown, and the growth of the family, new daughter-in-laws, new son-in-laws for those of you that have them. Some of you, you may have grandchildren or not, or whatever the dynamics are, but as your family and lives grow and you mature, we decided we were going to create a second edition of the family meeting that really takes it to another level in several different ways. One way is that not every family is the same.
Right.
Not every family is at the same place. And I remember talking to this family, some friends of ours, very close friends, and they had taken their family through at the family meeting. And what happened out of that is they created a family meeting of their own. And so they took the guide and adapted it to actually their specific family. And they've been doing it for a number of
Right.
years. And that gave us a great idea that where we could divide the guide into more kind of defined, kind of leader and participant. So the leader has though you're going to be collaborative, but the leader has certain sections and participant has sections. And we added workbook pages, and so participants could utilize this, as their workbook and record all the past meetings with notes, but that they could actually tailor it. So we included outlines for, like year one, followed by the second, third years, and so on, so that you can build the family meeting each and every year. We've included, templates that I think are
Right.
going to help you, not only templates on how to email, to invite, to send invitations, but practical tips for the setting and the schedule and any devos that you want to incorporate in there as well. Fun items that you could do or ideas. And it's going to really walk you through how to define, this is so important, but define your mission and your values as well as that all-important affirmations exercise. We really spell it out and make it very simple for you. And it really doesn't matter what the ages are. But if your kids are younger, you're going to adapt and you're going to shrink it down so that they can, it's going to be shorter and, and more precise rather than a mature family. You may take all the different steps.
And I think the main thing to remember is that you're not looking for perfection. You're looking for connection.
Oh, that's good.
Come
on, keep preaching. Come on, say that again, honey.
We aren't looking for perfection. We're looking for connection.
Oh, we're created for connection.
That's right. Ooh. So I think it's just more, you don't have to get, if it's your personality to get in the weeds and the details and trying to make it perfect, just remember, this is about connection.
Yeah, so good, so good. We just want to encourage you. Look, you've got a great resource to take the steps. All you have to do is get on the road, use the roadmap that we've given you, and it's going to produce amazing fruit and legacy for generations. Doesn't matter how you started. You may have made mistakes. You may have half of a family divided. It may be blended. You may be single parents. Whatever your situation is, dive into the family meeting and let us help you on that journey of not only you completing your own family meeting, but also creating a legacy that can change the trajectory of your family in amazing ways. So,
yes,
go ahead.
And I want to encourage you, it's never too late to start the family meeting, and there's no perfect family.
Yeah.
No matter if you're young, you're old, blended, or maybe feeling a little broken at this point, just go ahead and just get started.
That's so good, so good. Well, thank you for joining us here on Legacy Starts Today podcast. You can find more information about the Family Meeting Guide at kingdombuilders.us. That's kingdombuilders.us. And you can get those resources there. We're so excited about the release of our second edition Family Meeting Guide. And with that, Laura, do you have anything else to say before we close out?
I just say, don't let fear keep you back. Don't worry about awkwardness. Just go ahead and get started wherever you're at.
I believe this year is going to be the greatest year that God has in store for each and every one of us and your family. And we can't wait to hear how He uses this tool in your life Until next time, remember, your legacy starts today.
To learn more, follow us on social media at kingdombuilders.us. And join us next time for Legacy Starts Today with Lee Domingue.